But I think that just, I don't know, Buffalo is just riding the wave right now based off emotions, Lamar Hamlin. So I think they got this. I don't see
We're going to get into that.
Let's jump right in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Tuesday night. We on the hook. Tonight I have my man Smitty Rupaha and Kev looking crazy with the cutoff and the fuzz.
Get that tank top off.
Oh, my. Smitty, what's going on, man? We missed you last week.
Salutations. I missed you guys too, man. Good to be back. I just wanted to emphasize. I want to take the time out, Ray, to emphasize to our viewers, our audience, that we welcome your feedback. We welcome your input. I know nowadays, there's a lot of people out there that, you debate. I love to debate. Some people take it personal. They like to argue. They catch feelings, very sensitive. If you don't, debating is debating. All we're doing in the hook is we're bringing our opinions, our point of views, our feedback, and that's it. And we welcome yours too, because we learn from each other. All right. Mm-hmm. So once again, get subscribe. IG, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We all over the place.
And listen, it's all over the screen. You can't really miss it. And since we're talking about missing things, Russ, we missed you too, man. You've been out for a couple weeks. Yeah. We see that you look like you might be a little healthier now. I'm sure that tongue's gonna probably get going in a little bit.
It's been ready for you, Raymond. It's been ready.
Listen,
I got to piggyback on what Smitty just said there too. Listen, we're all Monday morning quarterbacks with an opinion, man. Nobody's, people can't get hurt feelings over having an opinion. You got an opinion, bring it.
Bring that shit.
I'll tell you.
Wait a minute. You're trying to tell me I'm in the backseat driving?
Yeah.
Hey, ain't no way, no how that's going down. Kev, what's up, man?
I just want to give a quick shout out real quick. On Monday night, my aunt had heart surgery and everything's going okay with her. There were some complications. I took today off. I want to give a shout out to my boss who made that possible. And life's precious. So shout out to Aunt Lisa. I love you. And just blessed that I'm able to take the time to be able to be there for family first. So
absolutely.
Sports aside.
Absolutely. And you said your boss, that would be Mr. Lou, Big Lou.
Yep.
Listen, I would really enjoy if we could try to get Lou on this program.
Yeah, man.
And I think one of the coolest stories going around right now, you might have heard of it, you might not have. But those who don't know, Lou is the head coach over at Valley Regional, and he has a female basketball player on his team.
Yep.
Which is on the boys' team. He coaches the boys, which is pretty cool. I think it would kind of be neat to, maybe if we can get Lou and his player up on here and have maybe a quick little 5-minute conversation. Nothing, not too much time, but it's cool and it's local. It's Eastern Connecticut, shoreline. So, but Lou, thanks for giving my guy a day off today. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. The title of the show is 3.5 million reasons. I forgot what the rest of it was, but you can see it on your screen because it is there. So what are we talking about today, boys? We're going to start off with some Lamar, some Ravens. We're going right into playoff football, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's jump right in. Lamar and Baltimore took on the Chiefs. Taylor Swift, the influence, the pop star, country star who pretty much walks on water, okay, was able to convince the entire NFL that the Chiefs belonged in the Super Bowl. The NFL has made $331.5 million more dollars this year because of Taylor Swift, allegedly. Yes, no, maybe so. But the Chiefs played the Ravens. The Chiefs won. What'd you guys think of the game? Smitty, let me start with you on this one. What What are we taking away from this game on Sunday without getting into the conspiracy? Let's leave that to the side, and then we'll jump into that as well.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think congratulations to Lamar, first of all. You know what I mean? He's a good quarterback, in my opinion, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I think they lack discipline as far as controlling their emotions, especially their wide receiver Flowers. You know, we all saw what he did, fumbling the ball. Again, controlling his emotions, taunting the player. It was too obvious, you know. And then, you know, Lamar Jackson, you know, as far as the game management towards the end and the selection as far as passing the ball, I'm not surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised. I expected Kansas City. If it was going to be close, I expected Kansas City with their discipline, their coaching, just Patrick Mahomes, just that team on the edge. You know what I'm saying? As far as when it comes down to the end, I thought Kansas City did their thing. But again, Lamar Jackson, he did his thing. He took his team to the championship, conference championship. I don't like comparing him to Dak Prescott. I don't know if you want to get into it now, but that's just my opinion right now as far as Lamar Jackson.
Let's get some feedback from the squad here, and then we're gonna do that, Smitty. We are gonna do that because why the hell not? Russ, what's your takeaway?
Well, listen, Lamar Prescott didn't get it done. How about that? He didn't get it done.
Oh,
and listen, and Zay Flowers did not help him. Like the taunting call to begin with, and then, you know, the new kid trying to do too much and extend that ball, you know, over the goal line did not go well. And I think after that, it kind of put Lamar. I agree with Smitty. I don't think he's in the position of Dak Prescott right now, even though until he does something different, I'm gonna go with that. But I think he was put in a position to where he had to do too much, and you know, he became Mac Jones and tried to throw with 3 defenders around a guy. So Jones. You know, listen, it is, you know, it is what it is. But they lost. He didn't get it done, and until he gets it done, he's going to take the heat.
Kev, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I agree with some of the things everybody said. I think it's fair he didn't get it done. I think we can just sum it up. I was a little bit surprised. The style of offense, it kind of looked different. It was more him in the pocket, almost trying to prove something, when all year long he's been able to extend plays, and he's been able to. Now, some of this has to do with the fact that Kansas City's defensive plan was phenomenal, and their defense was outstanding in this game. And again, in these playoff games, the teams that win make the fewest mistakes. The fumble hurt them, the taunting hurt them, the pick hurt them, and combine that, it's how you're going to lose a home game in a tough game. But I agree with Russ in a sense because, you know, until he gets it done, he's going to face criticism, as does Dak Prescott, as did Peyton Manning, as did every quarterback you could imagine that's a superstar. I know we're going to get into the Dak stuff. I think it's silly because this is going to be a second MVP that he wins. He had a great year. Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
So I'm not going there, but I was surprised at how well that defense in Kansas City played, and I was a little bit surprised at the game plan from Baltimore. I thought it was a lot different than they've shown all season long.
Hey,
and listen, again, credit to Kansas City because everybody's acting like this guy did a Deshaun Jackson and he just had the ball and he was lollygagging. He got whacked. He had his hands on the ball. Could he have protected the ball? Yes, but he got whacked. It was a tremendous play. I'm just in the business. I'm not in the business of crapping on people that try to make a play. I think differently. I think the play the defender made, Snead, was phenomenal. And, you know, again, summing it up, he didn't get it done. Too many mistakes. You can't make mistake after mistake after mistake and beat Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And just to add on to what Kev said too, I don't think Flowers would take half the crap he's going to if extending it over the goal line didn't come on the heels of the unsportsmanlike.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, I think
let me ask,
go ahead, Smitty.
I got a question. Why did Baltimore move away from their running scheme? Why do you guys think that Baltimore moved away from the running scheme? I understand that Kansas City's defense was solid. However, Baltimore all year long, their strength was their running scheme.
And the
Correct me
balance.
if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? So why do you think that they just moved away from it in the second half?
But Smitty, I think you're the one who brought it up in your original statement, though, about they didn't have their composure. Like you could even see it at the end with Lamar, just the complete frustration, and they were out of sorts. They didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that the Kansas City defense has pretty much carried Kansas City throughout the year. The Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm shocked, and I'm sure most people are shocked, and this is why everybody's out there with the conspiracy saying it's fixed. Taylor Swift kind of, makes it even worse with all the money that she's brought into the NFL with all the NFL's new fans. But
Love
the
Taylor
Kansas
Swift.
City defense is why Kansas City is where they're at, because the offense hasn't really looked good all year at all.
Inconsistent.
You know what I mean? Travis Kelce, I'm going to say he had a mediocre year. He had a great year for a tight end, but he had a mediocre year for Kelce, because Kelsey's a 13 to 1,500 yard guy every season. He didn't even touch $1,000 this year.
And he dropped a lot of balls.
Yeah, but do you know what he had, Ray?
He had Taylor.
He just had an amazing Sunday.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but
he shows up when it counts. He shows up when it counts.
All playoff long, he's been big.
Yep.
He's been clutch. He's made big, and he's made touchdown catches.
A couple.
The whole Taylor Swift didn't make Flowers throw his helmet. Taylor Swift didn't make him get fumble at the goal line. Didn't make Lamar Jackson throw into triple coverage. It's the dumbest thing in the world that we're even addressing any conspiracy about Taylor Swift. I'm sorry.
Okay. Listen, I got one thing to say about our girl, though. Much love to Taylor Swift, by the way. Hopefully this goes viral and Taylor calls us. She comes on the show, does a little screen for us.
She'll call Ray first.
But I want to be very clear on something. This is the NFL doing Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Not Taylor Swift doing Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Like she said, that camera's 2 miles away. She doesn't know when it's hitting her or not. This is the NFL doing it to prop themselves up, not her. So why she's catching the flack is beyond me.
I don't think it's her catching she is catching the flack because, we did the live stream. I was part of the live stream on the Scotzo and Otter show. If you're not following them, go over and give them a follow and a like. But I live streamed with them for that game, and we did an over-under of how many times Taylor Swift would be on the TV. And everyone's like, oh, God, we're so sick of Taylor Swift every time he caught the ball. Well, guess what? Travis Kelce had at least 11 catches, maybe more, and we only caught her 6 times on the TV. We kept track. We had the counter on the bottom. So the hype is the hype. But one thing that is not it's undeniable is that the NFL has made $331.5 million more dollars this year than they ever have. That's a lot of money. And what's the attribute to that? Like, you have to really think why. That's a big number.
But I know he's not. There's another dynamic to it too. That's again is because of Taylor Swift, but not her fault. And I'm sorry he's not on to explain it. But Scotzo with his daughter, he finally has a daughter who's sitting down watching a football game with him because it's Taylor Swift.
It's fact. Same with me.
Yeah, a family dynamic that was never done. And people. And listen, whether you like it or not, I don't care. But why are you complaining about it? If you don't do it, don't do it. Let it go.
No, I'm not.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question, fellas.
Hold on. For the record, I'm not complaining about it. All right, go ahead, Smitty.
Can we move on from Taylor Swift, please?
Yeah. Right after this comment right here. What did Billy say? Oh, 355. Okay. All right. Hey, can I mention one more thing about Taylor?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Taylor is so influential that Biden's looking for another endorsement. All right, we're getting away from politics. But they know what kind of power she has. And we saw it in the NFL. It's mind-blowing. This is it's insane. It's insanity, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not a Swiftie yet, ever, maybe. I don't know.
We need to get Hook Swifty t-shirts. That's what we
Oh,
need.
yes, we'll send her with the silver line on it. Let's get after it. So
Kev, you
listen.
good? You watching the Tar Heels, Kev?
Yeah, and they're pissing me off.
Oh, I was wondering. I
What's
thought it
the
was
score?
37-37.
Oh, all right. Well, there's a lot of ball game left.
Who they playing? Who they playing?
Georgia Tech. Trap game because they have Duke on Saturday night.
That was my next question. I say, I know we got the Blue Devils coming up.
Yeah.
Or you do. You got the Blue Devils coming up.
Yes, sir.
But real quick, and I did mention that we were going to bring up Lamar and Dak, and I'm sorry, Kev, because I'm going to upset you because it's silly. But one of these things that keeps happening with these MVP type season players is that they get into the playoffs. Let's be honest, Dak had an MVP season this year, in my opinion. His numbers are better than Lamar's, but Dallas did Dallas, and I don't want to say Baltimore did Baltimore, but they did. They were supposed to be. I mean, their defense was a top defense in the league. The offense with the most valuable player was held at 10 points. Granted, yes, there were some bad decisions made by Zay Flowers twice. I don't say it cost. Yeah, it could have cost. It got to cost them the football game.
That was the GOAT of the game. The GOAT.
That was it. Just a couple bad decisions. We saw bad decisions all day on Sunday. I guess it'll kind of lead right into the next game. Unless you have any more you want to talk about Dak and Lamar, I still think that they're both lumped up into the same failure.
Nah, hell nah. And I'm going to tell you why. Lamar Jackson, how long has he been in the NFL for?
6 years, 7 years.
6 years.
Something like
Dakota,
that.
how long has he been in the NFL for?
What's he pushing 8? I mean, they're not far apart.
All right.
I think.
All right. How many times has Dakota carried his team, the Cowboys, who they've always predicted the Cowboys to go to the playoff, the postseason, every year? Every year. How many times has Dakota Prescott taken the Cowboys to the conference championship?
Okay. Fair.
How many times?
He got a couple more wins.
But I think if you look at the teams, Ray, Dak Prescott's colossal collapses have been way more
that's what I'm saying. And I'm not a huge
Lamar.
Lamar Jackson fan, but let's call it how it is.
I don't mind Lamar at all. One thing I'll say is this. There's a guy in the NFC, Mr.
Jordan, what up, baby? How you feeling? You feeling better?
What's up, Jordan? One thing that I'll say is that there's a guy in the NFC. We're gonna talk about it now. Good layup, Smitty. Mr. Irrelevant has more playoff wins than Lamar and Dak combined. How about that stat? Is that believable? Would you believe Mr. Irrelevant has more playoff wins than Dak and Lamar combined?
Yeah, because his team is loaded.
Team is loaded. Okay.
Loaded.
The Chiefs scored 17 points. They scored 17 points.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant has a better postseason record than Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. Just so you know.
Oh my! Here we go. Let's poke the bear and see if we get some honey out of this. All right,
just throw it out there.
Poke the bear.
Russ, take it easy.
Honey.
Take it easy. Don't bring the fire yet. Don't bring the fire yet, Russ.
Oh,
I got
crank
you.
it up. Crank it up. Let's go.
Ray,
I don't give a shit.
Ray, here's the deal. It's the losses that Dak's had. I haven't seen, like, we criticized Josh Allen a little bit. Probably he should probably take some heat. Dak's going to take heat. Lamar Jackson lost in the championship game, so he's going to take heat for not getting to a Super Bowl. But Dak Prescott's loss, like this Green Bay loss, was terrible. Losing in the 49ers to the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo was a terrible loss. The 49ers added more players. They're more talented. They were talented, but they weren't what they are now since they got Brock Purdy. And to me, it's just it's the type of losses that they have. And so I think that's where I can't even think about Dak as compared to some of the other quarterbacks. But again, when you're great, and I think Lamar's great and Josh Allen's great, and these guys are awesome, you're going to get criticized when you don't get to the big game. And that's just the way it is. And I think it's fair.
Hey, fair point. Fair point. Now let's talk about some bad calls. By the way, hopefully, Zay Flowers is doing better now, and the death threats have stopped, and he was cleared from his staggered observation placement.
I think he's doing better than. Please remind me the Buffalo kicker.
Tyler Bass.
Him.
Yeah,
I think
Tyler
he's doing
Bass.
better than him. I think he's doing better than him.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I'm sure the fans of Baltimore. Oh God, it's so hard to get off this game. One thing that I did notice about the Ravens was how fast they just imploded. We didn't even talk about Travis Kelce. We barely talked about Travis Kelce. So let's pump the brakes for a minute. Travis Kelce was all up in that. I'm not talking about Taylor Swift. I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens defense. Right from the jump, right before the game started. Did everybody see the video of him taking the tee and throwing the tee? Then he threw the helmet of Justin Tucker, the greatest kicker in the NFL.
Why was that though?
Because I guess Tucker was in their warm-up area. I mean, it was in Baltimore.
And Kev, you mentioned that happens a lot. Was it you? Right? That happens a lot.
Somebody mentioned it happens every game. It's what happens. I never remember. Maybe it's because I don't pay attention to kickers, but yeah, it's somebody in the chat that we have mentioned that this is what they do. I think it was Scott, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Brian.
Justin Tucker was on today and said that people are making it way bigger of a deal than it was. He actually thought it was a funny.
Well,
yeah, I think people are making just a big deal out of it.
Well, but there was a scuffle before the game. So whether it wasn't a thing or not, a scuffle, you like that? Did you not like the choice of words that I used, Smitty?
Beautiful.
Ray, you're awesome.
Thank you. Scuttlebutt. So yeah, whatever. Obviously they were getting after it. And that continued through the game. And I'm going to say Travis Kelce did a hell of a job continuing to keep that energy on the field up to including a flag, personal foul, which really helped out Kansas City. I think it was on the first drive of the game. It didn't stop. And you could actually watch it and see the Ravens fighting amongst each other. And it didn't go anywhere.
And Kelce was laughing.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Laughing.
That was great. I enjoyed that. He is definitely the stir in the pot. So I wanted to get that out there. Kelce is a dog nodder. Jordan would be saying that, but he can't even barely breathe right now. He's
Scotto and Nada show. Chris Michael, welcome to the show. Jordan's
a little upset
ever.
Yeah, he's a little upset about the kicker getting bullied.
Was he defending? Is he defending Tucker?
Yeah, he said that shouldn't. He said that Mahomes and Kelce are a clown and lost some of his respect. Yeah. Lost some of his respect. Shouldn't be done.
All right, I got that off my chest. You guys got anything to add to that? Because I just feel like
I don't know. Hey, Russ, what does Jordan mean? You want a Purdy jersey for your birthday?
He's saying I need a Purdy jersey. He's still mad because I told him that right now Purdy's numbers equal games are better than Montana's, and he told me never to say that again in the same sentence.
Oh my!
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with your son on that one, Russ.
Yeah.
We got it. Speaking of stirring the pot, Smitty, looks like the X Factor has joined us.
The X Factor. Oh my God, he sure does know how to stir the pot.
Listen, man, I don't think we got a bowl big enough right now, but let's get after it. All right. Very disappointing NFC Championship game for a lot of people. I think it's fair to say that 99% of America was rooting for the Detroit Lions. Fair? I think so. Complete domination in the first half. I don't know what happened in the second half. Some bad calls, some drop balls. Detroit lost the game. Do you guys think this is on Dan Campbell?
Yes.
Part of it.
Tell me why.
Yeah, you made the call, and from that point forward, it turned the entire game. And I know we were talking about it in the group chat. The only thing I don't like about what he did was, I understand, and I know 1,000 people are going to say it. It's what he did. It's what we do. Blah blah blah.
Absolutely.
You were up 2 scores. That field goal, it wasn't a long field goal for the kicker, and it would have put you up 3 scores. Kev, I think, kept saying it in our text.
Right.
You're up 3 scores. So if you don't score again, they have to score 3 times.
Mhm.
And it was that pivot, the decision he made, that changed it. And the other part, I don't think the second one that he made was a bad call at that point. I think then then they were in the flow. They were trying to recover from what they did. But that first one went from potentially being up 3 scores to turning the clock, and you lost. So the only person that can own that, regardless of who dropped the pass, regardless of who fumbled, any of that, it pivoted on that play right there.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Well, so here's the thing. Part of it's on Dan Campbell. And the reason that the field goal makes sense there, and I respect that he's got 4 balls and all of us have 2. What he did, if they make that field goal, it goes back to a 17-point lead. And essentially what you've done is you've killed, it's like a chess match. Now you're over here. You kill clock, it's the same score that it was at halftime. So now you've killed clock. It's on Reynolds for dropping the ball. It's on Gibbs for fumbling the ball. Mm-hmm. It's just now if let's say, and by the way, on that drive, they moved the ball right down the field. My issue just is in that situation when you can kick a field goal. Now look, let's say they miss the field goal. Let's say it gets blocked. Then everybody's going to say, why did Dan Campbell change his approach? But in my opinion, you could have all the balls in the world as a coach. Sometimes in the playoffs, especially in the NFC Championship game on the road with a young group, you've got to be smart. And I just felt like the field goal was the right answer. But there were so many mishaps. I mean, there was a wide open receiver in the end zone before the half and Goff overthrown. They settled they went for it on that drive and got it to even put themselves in that position. Nobody complained about it then. So I get it. So Goff overthrows the wide open receiver in the end zone. He overthrows Laporta. There was a ball that was overthrown that Ray and I thought in the group chat that Jamison Williams could have caught, but his hands were out like this. And if it was to the side, maybe, but it was right over the top of his head. That's a very tough catch. So again, to sum it up, yes, some of this is on Dan Campbell.
Thanks, Chris.
But overall, the mistakes that came from that, I think, magnified it. And that's why I think he's getting a lot of heat. But he took it like a man, give him credit. He didn't throw his players under the bus. We talked about that. And he was brutally honest. He said this might have been our only chance. And we all know their schedule is going to be harder. I'm shocked that the offensive coordinator came back, by the way.
Good for Detroit.
Good for them. But I think maybe I'm not answering the question. It's if it's a yes or no, but I think yes, he deserves he deserves the blame. But those players, Goff overthrows, Reynolds drops. He dropped a huge third down play, and then the fumble by Gibbs killed him.
Right.
All
right.
All right, Smitty.
Listen.
He's catching a lot of love for his shirts. I just want to.
Hey, man, mad love for Randy. Mad love for Chris. Welcome aboard. Thank you, Randy, for the love. Yes, the Knicks are looking good, even though we got some injuries that will affect us. I'm glad that it's happening now and not towards the end of the year, but I'll get into that later. So
hey,
first
Smitty.
of all, Dan Camp,
Smitty, can't you see? Sometimes your words gonna hypnotize.
Little TJ. Who's that lady?
Yeah, why you skipping over the X Factor, giving you some love about your special shirt?
Little TJ, who's that lady?
I got them all messed up.
Listen. So Dan Campbell, to me, is a stand-up coach. First of all, all year long he's been aggressive. That's his history. I think it was inexperience. Do I agree with those calls that he made? The fourth and 3, 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
It's hard, man, because you know what? As a head coach, you're always going to be second guessed, especially by us, the fans. You're away. You're not home. you know, if you don't make that 4th and 3, that crowd is going to come down on you. You're going to hear it. And I think it was just the inexperience. San Francisco, I tell you what, San Francisco was exposed. They were exposed. And I'm going to get into that later when we talk about San Francisco. I picked the Niners to go all the way to the Super Bowl, but you know what? After this game right here, I'm having second thoughts. And if it wasn't for Detroit's inexperience, I think that we would have had a different outcome. If they would have managed that game clock a little bit different, I think we would have had a different outcome. I think also that, unfortunately, as a Detroit fan, and I only know one, to be honest with you, that I talk to, that window is closing a little bit in their division because Green Bay is getting better. They're young. All them kids are like 20 years old.
Yep.
I think the oldest one right now is Love, and he's 25 years old. Everybody else is like 23, 22. Chicago, I don't know how many picks they have this year. They got like 100 picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like in the first round. You know what I mean? So that window is closing slowly, man. So do I want Detroit? You know, it was a Cinderella story. It was good while it lasted. But I can sleep at night because I'm a Giants fan. So you know?
Can you sleep at night as a Giants fan?
Like a baby. Like a baby. I'm looking forward to this season.
I'll be honest. I sleep pretty good too as a Patriots fan, even though it's probably going to be a rough couple years. I'm just
That's okay.
I know. Listen, when you're the king of the mountain for 20 years, you're going to fall down. Just kind of chill for a little bit, and hopefully you can make your way back to the top. Right?
I got something for you later on, Ray. I got something for you later on.
And Randy, he said it right there too. Are the Chiefs now like the Patriots used to be? And honestly, yes, they are. They're on that way. They're on the way.
You think they're hated? You think they're hated more than the Cowboys?
No, not
No.
yet. They will be.
I'm gonna tell you what. Listen, hold on, Kevin.
Oh wait,
you're a Commanders
to the Patriots.
Kevin, you're a Commanders/Redskins fan, right?
Unfortunately,
I'm a Giants fan.
Yep.
No, I don't think they're hated as much as the Cowboys are hated.
I agree.
Fair. I like that. We'll be number 2. We're definitely hated. That's just
You're
The
hated.
Patriots?
Absolutely.
I never hated the Patriots.
No, but nationwide, Ray, people celebrated Dallas losing.
I can never hate the Patriots. Why would I hate the Patriots?
I know, because you beat us. I got it. I'm the same way with the Steelers. We've had this conversation a million times. My man. All right, my 2 cents on the Lions, then we'll jump onto the Niners because I feel like some cool stuff happened with San Francisco and Mr. Irrelevant. First field goal. That's
Purdy, right? That's Purdy. That's Purdy.
Yeah,
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. Russ got an Amazon order coming in for that jersey, but the first field goal, I felt like rather than going for that 4th down there, I thought they should have kicked the field goal only because the Niners made a field goal, and I think it would have just been smart to go, you know what, match for match. Cool, done. Thank you. You still got the same margin, and you don't lose the momentum, right? Second thing I didn't like about the Lions game wasn't during the game, was actually after the game, and I didn't really care for Dan Campbell saying it's going to be, this is like that was their only chance to do it, because it doesn't really send a good message, I feel like, to your team. Like, you know what, we blew our only opportunity we had. You got great players, and I'll be honest, I'd feel pretty confident with Jared Goff. I feel confident with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and I got the best tight end in the league, and he's a rookie, and Sam Laporta. I mean, he's top 3, right? Top 3 tight end in the league.
He has a chance to be, yeah.
He's going to end up being,
terrific.
Once Kelsey retires, this kid's going to be the best in the league, unless somebody comes up after that. He's spectacular. And he just kind of left the wrong taste in my mouth, saying that, because you know what? Hey, remember this feeling. Remember what this feels like. And that, that's your motivation to go forward to the next year. So you want to jump and bite somebody's kneecap off like Dan Campbell talks about.
Right.
One thing I didn't like. That's the only thing I didn't like from Dan Campbell. Fine, go for the 4th downs and lose a football game. No problem. But don't say that we're not going to get back here again, because you're that dude. And all those dudes play for that guy. So keep that same energy, man. But that's all I got.
And Ray, if they keep this nucleus together next year And again, I know the schedule is going to be hard, and I think they'll take a step back to an extent. I'm not saying they won't make the playoffs, but if they just go out there and draft and sign a couple of corners, their defense is tough.
Yeah.
And so, like, to say that, I kind of agree with that. I think it sends the wrong message.
Yeah, it was a bad message. But you know what? He'll redeem himself on the first day of camp. So, it is what it is.
Let's not forget that San Francisco, and in sports, I'm a firm believer. I don't watch film and evaluate players or anything like that, but I'm a firm believer that in sports, sometimes you need luck. And that's what San Francisco had a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
A football's bouncing off the defender's helmet. He catches it, goes in for a touchdown.
That was one play.
The crowd is behind you. I mean, come on. The momentum is shifted, Ray.
But
yeah,
hey,
momentum shifted. No, Ray, he's right. If that defensive back caught that ball and it was intercepted, would we be even they might have gone right down the field and scored again, and Dan Campbell wouldn't even have to go for friggin' fourth down. That play was enormous. I agree with him on that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Listen, that was the worst string of luck of football I've ever seen in my life.
Then a fumble.
Never.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Well, hold on.
It was pretty bad.
Hold on.
You sure about that?
It wasn't as good as 28-3, but that was the second worst.
You sure about that?
Atlanta was.
You sure about that, Ray?
Oh, wait a minute. I know where you're going. That series when you're up 3-0 and you lost 4 in a row. But we're not talking about baseball. We're talking about football.
You're right. We're not talking about baseball. Am I the one who's drinking a double IPA, or are you?
I still think
this is a soda water.
The worst call of all time in any game ever is not handing the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'm not talking about I'm just saying that was a bad string of luck. One play or 3 plays back to back to back. That's
Joe, what's up, baby? What's going on?
What's up, Joe?
His point is right, though. Like, the Patriots got lucky; they won that game, the Super Bowl. There's luck has something to do with it, but you also want to be smart when you're in those spots.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. So,
hey, listen, Ray, I'm sorry. Can we answer some of the questions that Randy's like shooting? He's got like an AK-47 with these questions. I would like to answer some of these questions if you guys don't mind. And please help me out. Are the Chiefs now like the Patriots used to be the team people like to hate?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Who gets back to the NFC Championship first, the Lions or the Eagles?
The Lions.
Russ, what do you got?
I like the Lions.
Kev?
Yeah.
Lions.
The Lions, because I don't like Sirianni as a coach.
Dude, the Eagles are in shambles, honestly.
I thought he lost.
Do the Giants make it back to the playoffs next year?
No.
That's going to be a hard one. I mean, listen, our division is tough. You know what I'm saying? If we was in the NFC North or somewhere, NFC South, I would tell you different. Right now, as a Giants fan, I'm leaning towards no. We're still we regressed instead of progressing as a Giants fan. I accept that. We're in that rebuilding phase. I still believe in Dable. I believe in our admin. And we shall see. But right now, as a Giants fan, I say no. We don't make the playoffs.
Okay.
Alex, I do think if they have the right offseason, they can be better. But I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. We can. I mean, we could get worse, but I hope not. Who is the better tight end, Kelsey or Gronk? In my opinion, Gronk. It still stands right now. However, Kelsey did break some records.
Yeah.
I believe it was one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Jerry Rice, in the playoffs. So, I mean,
and
Kelsey is how old, fellas? How old is Kelsey right now?
36, maybe. Yeah, they are.
Maybe.
Oh, 36.
So I don't think he's going anywhere right now. Things can only get better for him. And Patrick Mahomes relies on him a lot.
32.
34 years old.
34. All right.
34? Kelsey?
Yeah,
he pulled Taylor Swift. That's what's up.
Well, how old's Taylor? I can't believe we're talking about her again. You did it, not me.
Hey, man, listen, man. Much love for Taylor Swift. Is Brock Purdy having some Joe Montana moments?
By the way, do you know how old Taylor Swift is?
How old is she?
34.
That's what's up.
It's just a beautiful thing.
Hey, Brock Purdy, I don't think he's having some Joe Montana moments. I think if you took some of those elements from him away, and by elements I mean some of his key plays, I think Brock Purdy. I don't want to mention his name next to Joe Montana.
He's not Joe Montana. I'll help you. He's not Joe Montana. He's not having Joe Montana moments.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks,
good
Kev.
job.
He's just putting up the same exact numbers, but he's not having Joe Montana
Yeah,
moment.
if you think he's Joe Montana just based on numbers, they play more games now. He's not Joe Montana. That's like saying, is Brock Purdy Tom Brady? He's not Tom Brady.
So if he throws for four touchdowns in the Super Bowl, it's just like, it's only Brock Purdy. He only threw for 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Joe Montana has 4.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Brock Purdy's Mr. Irrelevant, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do with the weapons that he's been provided with.
And there were other quarterbacks in that system that didn't do it.
Yeah. This guy gets so downplayed. Honestly, it's kind of funny to me. It does. The guy's the last pick of the NFL draft. This is like the most remarkable story of the entire season, and it's getting completely swept under the rug. By the way, if you watch the football,
hold on. Wait. Time out.
Oh,
please tell us how you feel. Please tell us. You talking about Purdy, right?
Yes.
You talking about Purdy?
I'm talking about Purdy, and you know what he was?
Right.
He was pretty damn good on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying it. I think he's a good quarterback, but I'm not ready to say he's having Joe Montana moments.
Good quarterback. You never would have seen Joe Montana run the ball.
Montana moment. Let's see him down by 4 points in the Super Bowl with a minute on the clock and drive a team down.
Yes, sir. Bring it up, Kev.
Wait, hold on.
Let's see him not be in a position where he's down to come back and he just kicks their ass.
What was the score at halftime? Because it's slipping my mind. They were down, what, 17? Was it 17 they were down at halftime?
All right, listen, Ray.
Oh, all right.
Ray.
I'm just
can
saying.
we agree? Ray,
17.
can we agree to this? What? You're hyping your boy up, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, just
You're
like I
hyping
did
him
with
up.
Isaiah Hodgins, right?
Let's see how well he does against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Test.
Okay. And then maybe then we can say that he's taking steps towards Joe Montana. Joe Montana is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Dude, you can't say that without him winning more Super Bowls.
It's got to be longevity. He's got to do it more. You know, he's going to have to cycle through where, like he said, where he doesn't have Debo Samuel and CMC and all that. But right now, listen, for 199, he shouldn't even be on a freaking roster.
Yeah, but the greatest quarterback in history was picked in what round? Like, that stuff happens. We're talking about how he plays. We're talking, and he plays extremely well. I don't agree that he's a game manager. I think he's a good quarterback. I just think when you mention Brady and Montana and Brock Purdy, it ain't there yet.
No, it's not there. But at the same time, can we give this guy a little bit more credit than all the
he does deserve?
Here's a question. Here's a question.
In the Super Bowl, Brock
here's a
Purdy
question, Kev. 2
Super Bowls right now if he didn't get hurt last year. That's a fact.
Kev, here's a question for you, Kev.
Sure.
Can we say Brock Purdy? Can we compare Brock Purdy to what some people believe was the comeback player of the year, Joey Flacco?
No, because
he's better than Flacco.
He's better. So far in his young career, I think he's been a more consistent quarterback than Flacco.
I might have got excited with that comment. I don't think he's better than Flacco.
Wait, hold on. How is he better?
He's better than Montana.
How is he better than Flacco?
I was just kidding. I was kidding. I was joking.
I was like, Joe Flacco?
Yeah, no. You know what?
Hey, North Carolina's down 5, just so you know.
Last year,
I turned it off. I can't take it.
Last year, Brock Purdy got hurt. The 49ers crumbled. They lost. It is what it is.
They
right?
couldn't throw.
Exactly.
It was like the worst game ever. Talk about luck.
Right. But he got him there.
Eric, what's going on?
He brought him back again. And I want to say this. They were getting smashed at halftime. The kid kept it together. he made a couple big runs in the second half. A couple huge runs. I think he might have had more yards rushing than Lamar Jackson, who could eventually be the what's up, Ryan? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
I think those runs that Purdy made were huge.
Right.
2 rings in 2 weeks.
And 2 rings. Did you see Ryan's comment?
Was that a Super Bowl ring and a wedding ring?
Yeah, Taylor Swift gets 2 rings in a week.
Kelsey gonna propose to her.
Super Bowl Swifty 8.
Here we go, baby.
That's hilarious.
But that's like a real thing, right? And I'm glad Ryan brought that up. The odds are yes, plus 160, no proposals. Yes, he proposes, plus 160. No, he doesn't. I believe is minus 250. I saw that somewhere. That's like
I cannot believe we're talking. See, this is the hook, baby. The hook sports right here. Y'all heard it first. Go ahead, Ray.
Yo, you never know. By the way, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We got some content out there. Share with your friends. Jump in here. Jump right in. Jump right in.
Hey, do we see Joe Flacco back next year?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, because their starting quarterback's a mess. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Deshaun, he's still busy, but not busy on the field.
Do we get a blowout in the Super Bowl?
No.
No.
I think it's going to be a good game, honestly.
Hey, who did the Chiefs lose on defense?
Their defensive end, Owemenhu, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Omenahu.
It's a bad
Kev, do you know what his name is? Yeah, he's a stud.
Omenahu.
Yeah, he's tore ACL.
Terrible.
Yeah. That's gonna hurt them.
Charles Omenahu. Where's he? Is he a Texas guy? Was he from Texas? Is he a hook 'em horn guy?
I want to say
yes, he is. Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah, you just lost 6'5", 280 on the line. That's a lot of weight right there. That's a lot of weight. So, going into this game right now, the Chiefs are a 2-point favorite. I don't know if it opened up at that. I think it was
2.5. It opened.
I think it's Niners are a 2-point favorite. I thought it opened at 3.5. Was it only 2.5 or was it 3.5? I saw 3.5 on opening day, but you know what? I could be wrong. Yep, it was 2.5, Kev.
Randy, we live in Connecticut. We don't make that money. We don't make that money to go to Super Bowls live.
So, nosebleed seats right now are going for a little less than $9,300. Little less. Last row, all the way in the back, $9,300. So
and Brian said today it's up. The prices are up 70%.
That's actually insane. Yeah,
Vegas, but it's Vegas. It's Mahomes. It's
Larceny too.
It's a big
Taylor Swift.
The NFL is happy about this though. Yeah. The NFL wouldn't. I don't think the NFL would have been happy if the Lions were in the Super Bowl. And no, that's not a conspiracy comment. It's just
but
the Lions.
It could have been Eminem versus Taylor Swift.
Dude, they could have had a rap battle at halftime.
Yeah.
Fifth. Yeah. Fifth. Oh my God. Niners minus 247.5 right now is what the line we're looking at. 47.5 seems kind of. Is that low? These are two good defenses that are playing.
Yeah, but it's the Super Bowl and it's always lower scoring. And the first quarter is always like, it's not even punches, it's jabs. Like nobody, if you notice the Super Bowls, they're always like carefully played and then things start opening up. So I can understand the number.
Rye said kick a field
goal.
No,
I've never been to a Super Bowl line.
We definitely went over that, Rye. We definitely went over the whole field goal situation. Oh God, what a mess. One thing I'll say though, Kev, about the NFL not wanting the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl, I kind of disagree with you only because that Lions-Niners game, I think, was the most watched football game of the weekend. Between the two games, everybody was actually. I read that. Marissa Marie.
That's nuts.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a franchise that's never done anything, Yeah. And let's be honest.
All right.
Everybody's rooting for David. Everyone's rooting for David. And that's what it would have been. David Goliath. Come on.
So you think everybody's on the like? Do you think the casual fan just wants Mahomes to lose?
Yes.
I kind of
can
agree
tell
with
you.
you.
I can tell you, I do.
I don't think he's gonna though.
I
No,
love.
I know what you
want to
want.
win.
Ray, I know why you want Mahomes to lose. As
Yeah,
a Patriots fan, I know
Yes.
exactly why you want Mahomes to lose. Russ, do you want Mahomes to lose?
He doesn't impact me. I mean, I just want him to lose because I don't want him to catch the Patriots. But
I
yeah,
got you. But definitely, Ray, I know exactly where you're coming from, bro.
Well, you know, we got to give Marissa some therapy here because she's talking about the heartbreaking loss from the Lions, but she also brought up a good point, you know, about like the Lions fans being loyal and the once in a lifetime chance. There'd probably be a lot of people that would pay that money to go follow that team to a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
By the way,
And you-
haven't seen her at work, but congratulations on your national championship. Huge Michigan fan.
Yes.
So go Big Blue.
All right, your therapy session's over, so now we gotta move on. The Lions are out.
Okay, we're moving on. Eric says don't want the 49ers getting another title. That's understandable. He's a Cowboy fan. Good luck, Eric.
I would normally agree with Eric on this one, though. I would normally agree with him. I think most, like, the Niners aren't. I mean, there's a lot of fans. But I think most fans, like, these are two really good franchises going at it right now. Obviously, Kansas City's way more relevant than any other team in the NFL. The Niners have been floating around the last couple of years.
Oh my God.
But Andy Reid in Kansas City, man, what's this there? How many AFC championships, Super Bowls is there? You know?
You
Not
know
there.
what? While we're there, Ray, I have a question for Russ. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Can I ask Russ a question?
Yeah.
Russ, being that Andy Reid has proven to be successful with different teams, quarterbacks, and Bill
I know where you're
Belichick,
going.
not so much. Who would you say wins this battle as of now? And if Andy wins this Super Bowl, do you think that there can be a debate as to who is the greatest coach of all time, in which some already call Bill the GOAT? What do you think, Russ?
Well, you already know my feelings on, and again, I want to eliminate the confusion. Bill Belichick's not a bad coach. He's a defensive guru. He's all of that stuff. Well, when you talk the numbers, all
right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Without Tom Brady, his numbers just aren't there. They're not. Even if you eliminate, I think I said it earlier. I think if you eliminate Patrick Mahomes from Andy Reid, he's still 180 something to 120 with wins, and he's got 24 games in the playoff. Bill Belichick without Brady is 1-2 in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right, Russ. I mean,
are you aware at all of what Bill Belichick did in Cleveland?
It does. What
does
did he
matter.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't.
Matter. It
no, it
absolutely matters because if you saw what he assembled there, he won 11 games, and then the next year they came in. They had Nick Saban on staff. They had all these guys on staff. They got off to a great start, and the season imploded when they moved.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Even with that year, without Tom Brady, he has a 43% win rate. 43% without Tom Brady, including your Cleveland days. It doesn't matter.
Well, what's Andy Reid? Then take away Donovan McNabb and give him Vinny Testaverde because that's what he won 11 games with.
Okay,
take away Donovan McNabb and take away Patrick Mahomes. What do you think he would be?
No. Why are you taking away two quarterbacks?
Everybody needs great.
Time out. Why are you taking away two quarterbacks? Take away Andy Reid's best quarterback.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Take away anything.
Still 182 and 120 without Patrick Mahomes, and he's been to a Super Bowl.
Okay. And
he's got more.
Like, what did the rosters look like when Belichick went to Cleveland? No, I'm not. No,
hold on. Time out.
You
No,
have
you're not listening.
the whole picture.
Everything Bill Belichick had, Bill Belichick picked.
Fair. That's fair.
So there you go. And again, listen, I'm not saying Bill Belichick is not a great coach, not a defensive guru, not at the top of the list.
Right.
But when you're talking about the God Almighty GOAT, like there's an argument against it, is my point.
All right, here's my question.
There can always be a debate.
If Andy Reid wins the Super Bowl, he wins the Super Bowl, I agree you can debate it. But I think that there's so many people this has nothing to do with you. There's so many people that act like Bill only won because of Brady, and that's the problem I have, because it's stupid.
You know what? Hold on, Russ, hold on. I would like to hear from our audience, our viewers.
Sure.
What do you guys think? Where do you guys stand as far as the greatest of all time, which some people consider Bill Belichick, and Andy Reid? If he wins this Super Bowl, where can we compare them? Is there a debate? Because again, this is a debate. It's not, you know what I'm saying? You're stupid. You're a moron. We want to move away from that. You know what I'm saying? This is a debate where grown folks are having a debate.
One other thing, Smitty, and Kev, I think Scotzo said it in the text thread the best. It really was the perfect storm.
Yeah. But we're down, but you're like, it's like you're downplaying
That's my problem.
They both needed each other. They both needed each other.
Did Bill Belichick not draft Tom Brady? Does he get credit for that?
Well, he's got to, did he?
Right. So
right.
Would Andy Reid have put Tom Brady back in the game, right? When Bledsoe got hurt, then Brady got hurt, then Bledsoe came back in again. Would he have let Bledsoe ride that out forever and then put Brady back?
We don't know that. Right. We don't know that.
Right.
You know that?
But no, I don't. But the point is that, you know what, we're talking about coaching and we're talking about evaluating your players and coaching, and that's what you do. You coach, right? He made a decision to.
But I think you missed my point.
Brady over Drew Bledsoe, who was way more hyped up coming out of college than Brady probably could even dream about.
Right.
Like that was a big deal.
Dude, he was the first pick in the draft. He was huge
deal. Come on.
No doubt. But when you're talking about arguments and having an argument against it, without Tom Brady, he's done nothing. He's not done nothing. He hasn't won anything. He only got
a rookie quarterback to the playoffs, for crying out loud. By the way, that
wait a minute.
Quarterback is getting shit on like unbelievably because he's so awful, but he took him to the freaking playoffs with the guy.
Are you kidding me?
You just solidified a point, because with that horrendous rookie, he's without Tom Brady. He's only got 3 games in the postseason, and no championship.
Eddie, this is on you, bro.
This is
on Smitty right now.
You can't look at it.
Bro, listen, I'm just drinking my.
Did he not win 11
I'm
games?
drinking my 2 juice.
Did he not win 11 games with Matt Castle?
And they didn't win the division.
So what?
11
games with Matt Castle as his quarterback. He went to the playoffs with Mac Jones.
Do you believe
games with Vinny Testaverde? He's not like that. I get the
only
point.
Won 43% of his games without Brady, including the
All right, that's done with.
Numbers don't lie.
I understand. Let's get back. All right, who's the most overrated quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
Trent Dilfer.
Overrated? Dilfer? I don't think he was overrated. I think he sucked, and we all knew it. He was. I think that was the best
good question. Randy comes up with these questions.
Wait a minute. The most overrated quarterback to win a Super. Well,
he wasn't like hyped up to win though. You know what I mean? Like overrated kind of. God.
Wow.
Overrated?
Let's think about this.
Like I maybe right now Joe Burrow could be a name, even though he's a phenomenal. He's a.
What about? Hey, listen. And this is shooting right off. I mean, Kurt Warner, maybe. Kurt Warner.
What? He's in the Hall of Fame.
He won MVPs.
That's okay. I mean, just because you're in the Hall of Fame.
But he did come from packing groceries to win a Super Bowl.
Arena football. No,
That's
I don't
true.
think. I don't think. I think he might have been one of the biggest surprises to go from packing your groceries to playing on a football field. But
Randy, that's a good question, Randy.
I think it's hard to say an overrated quarterback to win a Super Bowl, because if you win a Super Bowl as a quarterback, I mean, are you expected to already? You're kind of expected to win. I don't know. Maybe I think most underrated quarterback would be a better one. Oh, you know what? Russell Wilson, actually. That ain't bad. Eli Manning. There we go. I'll dig that one. Smitty.
He did it twice though against your team.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he did it once. You know what I mean?
And he was the MVP.
Let's keep it
And
moving.
he was the MVP.
I'm just gonna have to hit that
Twice.
button all night.
All right.
It's a busy button. It's a busy button tonight, Smitty. It's a busy button. God darn it all.
All right.
Jesus.
Listen. So, do we want to do our Super Bowl predictions now, Ray?
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get after it.
Nick Foles.
That's a good
Foles, yes.
That's a fair one.
That's a good one, Russ.
I think that's more fair than Trent Dilfer, because you're right. Everybody knew Trent Dilfer was just sitting there. He had a 2,000-yard rusher that year. That's probably a better one. I still think, just out of all the quarterbacks that like people viewed as good, I think Russell Wilson is. I think Russell Wilson is probably what I would say, but the Foles a good one.
You know what the toughest question about is, because overrated to win, I think like they have to win the Super Bowl, and then after that they sucked, right? Where Nick Foles is good, Russell Wilson's been a dumpster fire. I think they're both good choices, honestly.
Oh my God.
I think.
And one.
Oh boy. Kev's if you guys don't know, Kev is a huge North Carolina fan. He likes the Miami Hurricanes of football, and long walks on the beach in a tank top.
Yep. North Carolina is currently down 8 with 5.
And if you're wondering about his shampoo, I believe he uses Head and Shoulders.
I do. That's good stuff.
It smells
I knew this was. I know this has nothing to do with the show, but I knew this was going to happen, because I knew they won 10 in a row, and Duke is on Saturday. I knew they'd go to Georgia Tech. It's 65-68, and they're shooting a foul shot for an and one. There's 4 minutes to go. They could pull this off. But anyway.
All right, let's go. All right, Super Bowl predictions. Super Bowl predictions. Where are we at? Who do we like? Russell, you go first.
I'm going to go with San Francisco.
Score?
I'm going to go with San Francisco, and I think it's going to be San Francisco, because I think, especially, and I can't think of his name, but I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be an animal.
Fair.
Score.
Okay.
Score? 31-27.
Ooh, I like that one. That's the over right there. All right, we got one over. Smitty, what do you got?
You know what? I'm gonna have to stick with my prediction as far as the card that we initially submitted a long time ago. I had San Francisco beating the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, the Ravens are not there. I'm gonna go with. I have to stay with San Francisco, but in all reality, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The way that San Francisco defense was exposed. And yes, the linebackers are great, but their secondary, I don't know, to me, they're suspect. With that said, if it's a close game, I'm going to give it to Patty Mahomes. And I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to say it again. 3 reasons. The referees, Patrick Mahomes, and Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Kansas City, 23. San Francisco, 20.
Oh,
Andy Reid, too.
Oh, shoot. Kev, what about you, bro?
First of all, I don't know about exposed. They got
exposed. Exposed. For you to be winning, and I know you review film and all that good stuff. You evaluate players. Much props to you. God bless you. But you know what? They were exposed. For a team to be at home leading 24-0, and you come back by the grace of God, you got all that luck on your side. They were exposed, my man. They were exposed. Go ahead.
So
sorry to cut you off.
Forcing fumbles is luck. Like, they didn't give up anything in the second half. I don't agree with that. We'll get into that. Anyway, regardless of whatever, I had San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I had Baltimore beating them. I cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes. I felt uncomfortable betting against him last week. I got to see him lose besides to Tom Brady. I got it 31-21 Kansas City.
31-21.
And we're going to have a real blast debating Bill Belichick because Andy Reid wins that Super Bowl. That's going to be interesting.
Jeez. I think we're going to hold off the whole Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady GOAT conversation right now. I wanted to get into that tonight, but maybe we'll save it for the week before the Super Bowl.
Sure.
So next week, you want to see Russell get hot again and Kevin, Smitty, and myself, because you know what? The best thing about this show tonight, honestly, was the amount of energy, and I'm not going to call it anger, right? Because we're not angry, but
not anger.
It's passion, right?
There's passion. There's passion. There's a difference between
100%.
passion and anger.
Yes.
If you angry, go seek anger management.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
if
It's
people
funny.
can't realize today, I know everybody forgets because everybody's crazy. If people think that debating sports and getting loud and emotional means that I don't love this guy, then you're an idiot.
Right.
And I hope you turn off the TV or the computer.
That's right.
Oh my God,
That's
I love
right.
it. No, but no,
That's
seriously,
right.
it
That's
is.
all.
Nobody's really mad. Nobody's really
We're
mad.
not.
Nobody's mad.
Nobody's mad.
It's fun. It's a great time, and it's been a very enjoyable, fun show. I personally, I'm going with Mr. Irrelevant. I think, and you know what, I'm rooting for the guy. I think he's going to win the MVP. Purdy's going to throw for 293 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's going to run another one in with another, maybe about 30, 40 on the ground. And then you're going to see San Francisco win another one. Patty Mahomes is going to come up short. Taylor Swift's not going to get the ring. And neither is Andy Reid. So we won't have to worry about that debate.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
So I gotta. Is this a hot take here? Are you?
I mean, you can call it what you want. It's not a hot take if it don't happen, though.
Hold on. Are you calling the hot take that she doesn't get either ring?
She ain't getting nothing.
No.
Ray. Hold on, Ray.
We're coming out with
Hold on,
another.
so-
We're coming out with another Twift song. Another what's her name again? Taylor Kelsey.
Yeah.
Another Taylor Swift song. I don't know what I was thinking. Part 2. Okay.
Does she break
So
up
you're
with him
rooting
because
for-
he doesn't win the Super Bowl?
So, Russ. So
I wouldn't be surprised if she got a little bit of ownership in this team with the amount of money she made Kansas City this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go, and then we can continue this after my score. I'm going 34-24 Niners. 34-24, bang, bang, not a gang. There it is. Boom.
Oh,
Oh, Randy, hey, speaking of the GOAT,
Listen.
Randy's got another great question. Does Andy Reid retire if they win the Super Bowl?
No.
I kind of think he is. I do.
No.
There's been some rumblings about that. I think that there's a chance. I hope not. You bank in
I
a
hope
three.
not. I hope not. But I tell you who should retire? Bill Belichick.
Ooh.
Well, you know what's crazy? And he should right off to the sunset, dude. You're the GOAT, no matter what. No matter what Russell says.
What else does he have to
Right.
prove?
I'm
What
gonna
else does he
throw
have to
something at
prove?
you, right?
Nothing.
After
That
you
he can
finish.
do it without Tom, Smitty. That he can do it without Tom.
I can't wait for what I'm about to say, Ray. Listen to this quick.
All right.
If Belichick isn't coaching and Andy Reid retires
Yeah, you're right.
and he goes to Kansas City
Oh.
and wins again, Russ is gonna lose it.
And I'm hoping for that.
That'd be weak though. That'd be
Yeah,
weak.
but you know what?
For Billy to do that, that'd be weak.
You would crawl up. You would
That'd be
crawl up
weak,
on your
man.
couch and cry in your whoopee if he went to Kansas City with Mahomes and lost.
Belichick,
And lost.
Taylor Swift,
What?
Ray
Wait,
pissed.
hold
You
on,
would cry in your whoopee.
dude. But my
Yo,
thing was
Woody.
this. My thing was this, and this is why I wanted Bill to go to the Cowboys, and I wanted them to get rid of McCarthy because he sucks. If Bill goes to the Cowboys, right, theory, they win the Super Bowl because you got the GOAT and they got every piece that they need right now to win. Tom Brady, when he left New England and went to Tampa Bay, had every single piece. The only thing they were missing was a quarterback, and he won a Super Bowl. So It's kind of like Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. That's what Tom Brady did when he went to the Tampa Bay
Oh,
Buccaneers.
stop it.
It was very simple.
No, not quite to that extent. That was
But
bad.
but you get my drift.
I get where you're going.
It's like on the same almost like what step one or step two. Like it's right there. It's right there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a 70-win team that this guy went to. That's why we don't even address Kevin Durant in the GOAT discussion.
Good though? But how good was that Tampa Bay Bucks team? And not that I want to get into the conversation,
Not
but they were really good.
Anybody could
And
win.
then Jameis Winston threw for 35 touchdowns and 35 interceptions. Tom Brady came in and he managed the game, and they won a fucking Super Bowl.
What did he win?
Jesus,
what did he win?
Jameis Winston? James Winston?
Nothing.
No, because he's a trash quarterback.
Nothing.
He's a trash quarterback. Patrick Mahomes would have won that Super Bowl with that team.
So then it was the system.
Jordan, good point. Sam Darnold.
Players. It's the players.
Sam Darnold is the first quarterback from 2018 class to make the Super Bowl. That class included Lamar, Allen, and Baker. Also, Jordan, Sam Darnold came from the Jets. So, he played for the Jets, and now he's in the Super Bowl.
41-24. David R., thanks, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate your comments in there for sure.
31-24.
I like it.
49ers.
Niners. Bang, bang. Bang. It's going to be a good game, honestly. I think we're in for a treat. Rematch of what, 2020, 2021, one of those?
I'll tell you what will ruin Purdy. He throws up a game like he did against the freaking Ravens. They'll sacrifice that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I don't see Kansas City doing what the Lions did. If they get that lead like that, I just don't see Kansas City doing what the Lions did. I just don't. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
Oh,
God, that Kevin Durant thing got comments, right? Cherry picked. All went on.
Cherry picked. I mean, Tom Brady, he cherry picked too. He picked where he could go. And why wouldn't you go to a team that has Mike Evans, probably one of the best receivers in the NFL, Chris Godwin, absolute stud, and then you recruit Gronk and Antonio Brown? Like, come on, man. And
Chiefs
Antonio Brown had a good playoff.
Antonio Brown, hopefully he's doing good. Mental health, he sought mental health. I want to point out Marissa Marie, Chiefs 34-28. Taylor will get her ring in the summer. I like that.
Bringing the focus back to Taylor in the summer. I like it.
I
like it.
Imagine if they break up and he knocks her up.
In the
Real American story.
What about you can't leave out the X. Oh, there you go, Smitty. Because
Chiefs win 35-17. Put it on record.
Okay. All right. I like it. I don't, but I'll say it do.
Do the refs get involved? Do they let them play?
I think
we'll find out.
There's heat on it. There's heat, man. There's heat. And David said something about, not betting against Mahomes. The one thing you're looking out for in this game is who is the umpire, who's on the field, who's throwing the flags, and what is there. Oh, who do I have?
Travis Kelce's going to be paying child support, and freaking Purdy's going to be living a good life.
They're going to hold signs when they walk into court.
Oh my, where is this coming from? Did I miss this comment somewhere?
She's a billionaire.
Jordan says, I do not want the Chiefs to win, but the head of the NFL does, so it's gonna happen. Jordan, I know you
he's
one of the greatest supporter as far as a conspiracy theory. I know you sent something about Taylor Swift wearing purple or whatever. I don't remember exactly the picture that you sent and stating why you thought that the Chiefs were going to win because of that. And
the Chiefs were going to go. Yeah, little sprinkle of red in the logo. Yeah.
So two questions. One, Ryan asked if the refs get involved or if they let them play. But with that, and this is a question to you guys, like even with the whole Taylor Swift, does the NFL care if the Chiefs win or not, as far as the marketing of Taylor Swift? Last game of the year, I mean, do they care?
No, they're getting another game out of her. That's why they're there. They're
the most popular game in sports.
Yeah, the outcome doesn't matter at this point.
Involved.
I agree with you.
I don't. I don't think they get involved. I think they let him play.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, it doesn't really matter as long as they're consistent.
It was the Super Bowl logo. Taylor Swift has an album color with her in purple versus the Niners in red. Okay. I like it. I like it. I respect. Listen, I respect everybody's opinion here. Let's talk about the entertainment. You wanted to touch on the entertainment, Ray? As far as
you know what?
Usher?
I want to save that. I want to save the entertainment for next week. Yeah, we'll save it for the Super Bowl week because you know what? This has been great. I would kind of I'd like to transition a little bit, Smitty, because I know you're pretty excited right now with the status of the Knicks.
Oh yeah,
they're on fire. I think they're what?
Time.
They
it's
won
been a long time, man. I gotta get excited with my Knicks, man.
No, and listen,
you know?
I'm not gonna. You know how I feel about New York teams.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
Ray, you know I love you. I love you and respect you. Stay consistent.
I am.
New York hater.
I 100%.
New York hater. Stay like that.
I'm totally gonna stay like that. But I gotta be honest. Same with the Jets. Like I feel sorry for you guys. And you know what?
The Jets.
I like.
Bro, we already covered that. Why are we talking about the Jets?
Well, because the Knicks and the Jets and the Mets, they all fall in the same category, right?
Why are we talking about the Jets, dude?
Well, because the Knicks.
That's like talking about Mac Jones.
The Knicks
like talking about Mac Jones.
That's fine. He'll be gone. His fifth-year option. They're not going to offer.
Oh, whoa! Now you kicking him out? You kicking him out?
I'm not. Honestly, I'm really not. But I cannot be there to coach him, to show him the ropes and what he needs to do. My man. But the point of the whole Jets, Mets, Knicks thing, they're kind of all in the same category. You know what I mean? They're in the dumpster. So I do feel good. I do feel good for you, Smitty. I'm happy for you. And I'm excited to hear what you got to say about the Knicks, man. I really am. So give it to us.
As a Knicks fan, I'm excited because you know what? We're playing fundamental basketball. It's a long season. As we all know, Julius Randle got hurt. Luckily for Knicks fans, it's not a significant injury. It's probably going to be, we're in the middle of the season. You good? Did you guys win?
We're up by one.
Did you guys win? All right, that's what's up.
I'll mute it. Keep going.
No, that's what's up. So listen, the Knicks, listen, but then you got OG who got hurt. They're playing good defense. I think they could be contenders. However, I still believe that the Knicks need to make a serious move, via trade for a bench player to come off the bench and give us some good points. That fits the chemistry. Okay. That's where the Knicks are at right now. Do I believe that they can beat a Boston team in a 5-game series, a 7-game series? I don't think so, but the future looks bright for the Knicks. I'm excited. It's been a long time.
Yeah, no, they're up by 20 right now going into the fourth against the Jazz. I think that's a game they're supposed to win anyway, but
they're supposed to win that game.
Yeah,
and right now, as many as the injuries, and I'm gonna tell you what, you know who I really like that's not mentioned a lot is Isaiah Hartenstein. That guy's like a rebound machine. You know what I mean? Mitchell Robinson is out for now, as an injury. He's out for a while, but he's been holding it down as far as the rebounds are concerned. I say Isaiah Hartenstein, and they're playing good basketball. If we keep beating the teams that we're supposed to beat, we're going to be all right towards the end. You know what I mean? We're heading towards the All-Star game. Half of the season is almost gone. Keep positive vibes, man. That's all I can tell you as a Knicks fan.
And Smitty, DiVincenzo tonight through 3 quarters.
Yes.
7 points, 4 steals.
Big Ragu. Absolutely. Like that kid, man. Villanova.
You think
that's the Irish kid, right? The Irish Italian kid.
I don't know if he's I think he's Italian.
Don't he have red hair though? Don't he got the red hair?
I mean, you're saying that Italians don't have red hair? Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. I'm calling him an Irish Italian. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I didn't mean it.
I hope you did.
Yeah, I mean that's just the Irish people have. I mean, I'm Irish and I have dark hair, but you know what? If you have red hair,
I like DeRozan, Chris. I really do. Sorry. I hope that they would get him, but
I think you're right. One more score, and I'll feel better. One more score. All right, 28 seconds and counting. 1-point game. Georgia Tech has the ball. RJ
good
Davis
catch,
is a stud, Ray.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
They're gonna hold the ball.
Sadiq Bey. Okay, Jordan. I like that.
Oh no.
Anybody watch the Celtics game last night, Russ?
They scored.
No, I didn't.
Georgia
Nope.
Tech scored.
Yep. Timeout.
Uh-oh.
I heard it. I heard it today, Ray, that they were. He was kind of giving him a little grief about, not being out there like they want to win.
No, well, and honestly, in Russ, you're a Celtics fan. I wish I could talk. What happened to Smitty? Where'd he go? Where'd Smitty go?
What a shot.
Maybe he had to use a bathroom.
He needed a new IPA.
Well, you know what? I can respect that. But my thing with the whole, Celtics thing is their head coach. I'm not a big fan. Like, what's your thoughts on Joe Mazzulla? Do you like that guy?
I don't know that he has the credibility to manage those guys. You know what I mean? Like, not that he's doing a bad job, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's happening. It doesn't. It feels like it's always going to get to the postseason, and then it's going to be that collapse.
Yeah.
Now again, you're talking about the regular season. They're doing all the management with Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But on the other hand, who would you pick?
True. And I don't even know who the heck is out there. You know what I mean? But I personally, I don't like the energy that I get watching him coach on the sidelines. Like, he's kind of like he just doesn't bring it. And I feel like when you got superstars like Tatum and Brown and Derek White, oh my, that guy is unbelievable this year. You gotta bring some energy. And I don't feel like Joe Mazzulla has that ability.
I almost feel like the players are coaching themselves and he's the spokesperson.
And you know what? That could be a thing too. Yeah, at that point, you might as well get LeBron over there, though. So I don't know. I'm not.
Big loss right there. Big loss.
Yeah.
UNC took an L.
Took an L.
Well, RJ Davis got hammered and they didn't call it, but yeah. But they're 17-4. They're 9-1.
Yeah, who cares?
Go beat Duke.
That's what's up.
You know what? And that's the thing. You beat Duke on Saturday. You win the ACC, and then you run it through the tournament. I mean,
I gotta say though, one thing the media talked all about the storm in the court stuff. That Georgia Tech let all the Carolina people off the court, and then they went nuts.
Good.
And I think that's safe for the players. Did
you see that Caitlin Clark thing there?
Oh yeah, and that's why they did what they did in that game, I guess, right?
Yeah.
She took a nice one to the face.
Did that look like a flop on her part?
Yeah, but dude,
that.
Listen, you got people running at you like that.
She got cleaned out, man.
Yeah, that's
remember years back when Roy Williams took the starters off the court and had the backups in, and then they stormed the court, and the Duke people were putting things up with Roy Williams on a boat and the players in the freaking water, like
Jesus.
Randy, do college teams need to stop storming the court?
Well, I think for big games it's all right, but I've definitely seen some like court storms when it's really not that big of a deal. Like, it's kind of pathetic sometimes. But
best college men's team each of you has seen this year?
UConn healthy with Klingon on the floor. UConn's a problem. That's that guy.
And I do think North Carolina, not to be a homer, but I do think North Carolina is up there also. I think they're really, really good this year.
Nah, it's not about being a homer. That's your squad, bro.
Yeah, but I try to be fair. They were garbage last year. This year, I think.
They're doing their thing.
Killed UConn, and I know it was early in the year, and they're playing a lot better. So even though they lost this, UConn's really freaking good, dude.
They are so good.
They really are.
What's up with Joe Peck, man? What is up with Joe Peck? Fuck UConn.
Scott is saying UConn plays the way they played on Sunday. Nobody's beating them.
No way.
I agree with that.
No way.
I think
I do like that kid from Purdue, though. That big man from Purdue.
Zach Edey's a problem. He's
Yeah.
I almost wish he went to a bigger school because I don't think people realize how good he is.
Mhm.
He's like 7'5", and the way he passes the ball is incredible. He's a really good player. I don't know how he's going to translate to the next level, but his ability to pass, he's going to make a team, man.
Can we get clarification on why
Joe doesn't like UConn?
Yeah, why
Joe doesn't like UConn?
Why do you hate UConn, Joseph?
Joe doesn't like UConn.
You're not a UConn guy.
That's what's up. That's what I love about this. You know what I mean? Once again, let us know why. Let us know why F UConn.
Tell me why you're mad. Tell me why.
We're gonna have to go over to Marissa's therapist over there. We're gonna have to give him a minute, and then
oh boy.
Hey,
maybe he got a parking ticket at Gamble one time, and he thought he parked in the right spot. So
yeah.
David says the NFL is the new
Long
WWE.
Oregon.
Okay. By the way, I was listening to some guy on the maybe it was Bleacher Report. I was listening to this dude. He was saying the 3 players to watch out for in the Senior Bowl. He actually listed Bo Nix to think that he could play so well that it could get him to the #1 draft pick. And I think that's completely insanity in my opinion.
He's not going to be the first pick in the draft. There's one quarterback above everybody else. Say what you want about his attitude. And it's the guy from USC. And the Bears are going to take him. And I don't want to hear that they're going to trade the pick because they're not.
Wow.
Be the dumbest thing of all time.
You're not sitting with Fields and that guy.
I'm not saying I don't like
This
Fields.
isn't like a Brett Favre Rodgers situation here.
No, I would trade Fields to Atlanta if the Bears. Could you imagine if the Bears could get the 8th pick straight up for Justin Fields and they had all those friggin' first-round picks? That'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I could draft that class.
Sure.
Is the NCAA tournament the best sports playoffs?
Yes, in my opinion.
It's the most exciting.
Yeah.
Definitely the most exciting.
I don't know about
We're talking about basketball, right? We're talking about basketball?
Yeah, basketball. Yes.
We talk about practice.
Practice.
Why,
Chris,
Oregon.
Okay.
Chris,
Joe is saying he's got a long story behind the UConn deal, so he's driving. Pay attention to the road, Joe.
He's driving aggressively right now because he's mad at UConn. So
he's pissed off.
But yeah, let's reel him in.
I'm gonna have to get a
UConn.
UConn.
Kentucky lost to South Carolina. Did Tennessee lose to South Carolina? I thought it was Kentucky. Maybe they both lost to South Carolina.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
Who's coaching South Carolina?
Bo Nix.
Dawn. No, what's her name? What's the coach of South Carolina? The girls, because she's really good.
Dawn Staley, dude.
Dawn Staley.
Dawn Staley?
Oh, Dawn Staley is gangster. She'll wear a hoodie. She'll wear a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she wears a tank top one of these days.
I know why you want her to wear a tank top, you dirty boy.
She's a ball coach. That South Carolina girls team is turning into what UConn has been for a long time. They are.
Kev, South Carolina won 63-59 over Tennessee.
So they're in the tournament, by the way, then.
You just made me bring up a question. I put it in the group message, and I don't know if you guys read it or not, but I do want to know. And I had this conversation with a coworker last night, and he got me thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm bringing it to the show. Is it time for Gino to go? Yeah. Is it time?
So I know you guys aren't going to want to hear it again, but I when you texted, I thought about this, and I want your opinion on Gino and Bill Belichick, and just hear my philosophy. But no, I'm just like, has their way of coaching just run its course? Like even Gino, forever Gino had him. We know he's was hard on those girls. Like, are there other kinder, gentler, softer, more empathetic coaches getting players over wanting to be coached the way both of them would coach?
No, do you see Dawn Staley?
Yes, thank you. Or Kim Malarkey.
Do you see Kim what's her name? Kim
Malarkey.
Oh, it's not Kim Mark, whatever her name is. if you see those two women coach those young
Mulkey.
ladies,
Mulkey. Sorry.
Tim
Mulkey.
Mulkey, yeah,
Mulkey, my bad.
that's not the issue. The question is, first of all, he still gets players. They're still going to be a 1 seed. They're still going to make the friggin' Elite 8.
They're not going to be a 1 seed.
Has he landed that one girl that like we're used to seeing? I don't know that he has. Paige Beckers is that girl, but she got hurt. And so I don't think it's time for Gino to go. I don't think it's a coaching style thing. I don't know him in terms of like, does he still have the same passion? Is he exhausted? He's older. You know, I just don't think that's the case where in football, because of the hours it takes, because of everything, I mean, some of these coaches deserve to go on their own. I just don't think Gino needs to go. I don't.
The only reason I say that, Kev, is because he was just I actually seen an interview with him where he was basically complaining about like these players don't need or want to be coached anymore.
Well, yeah, and he also brought up another point, which was interesting, is how am I supposed to coach these girls when they're making so much money? And again, it goes back to like I disagreed with Ray years ago over NIL because I hate the NCAA so much, and they're making billions off these kids. People think the universities are making billions off these kids. They're not. It's the NCAA making billions off these kids, and I felt like they should be paid. Do I think that they should have $20 million contracts for 18-year-old kids? And Ray pointed something else out that I don't think we've ever brought up again. And I just thought about this because the state of Florida is thinking of passing legislation for high school kids to be paid NIL. Are you kidding me? I never saw it going where it is now. I probably would have thought differently, but I also had faith, to be fair, that I thought the NCAA would not allow this to be the Wild West that it is. I thought that there would be a cap or certain amount of money, 85% of the money would be saved until the kids graduated, or something that normal people would think about. But I should have known better because it's the NCAA.
Yeah, no. It definitely ruined it for me. I think it ruined it because now you have rats running around.
So with your thing there with the NIL, is that legit why Saban bounced?
I think Saban bounced because it was time. Because I heard rumors about this, and I said this in the Gamblers chat at the beginning of the year. When I heard Saban bought that house in Florida, and I heard some rumblings about like maybe he wasn't as passionate coming into this year, I wonder if this was it for him. And I said that. I said, I really wonder if some of the rumors are true. Is this it for Saban? I just think with if you want to say transfer portal NIL has an effect, I won't disagree with you because these guys used to recruit their kids. They used to coach. Now they have to not only recruit their own kids, but they have to recruit the portal. They have to recruit. So it's kind of made it, in my opinion, more difficult for an older person to maintain the energy level to do the job. I really do. Think about all the stuff they're dealing with. So, but I don't think he left because of that. And Dion made a comment, and Saban even came out and said, "It's don't go there." Like I left because it was time for me and my wife. And but I don't think you're going to see these coaches like Bobby Bowden and Frank Broyles and Bear Bryant coach for 30 years because think about all the stuff they have to do. That's a lot on their plate, man. A lot.
Fair point, Kev. Fair point. You already know where I'm at. The portal's got a lot to do with Saban, I think, as well. Because you know what?
It does.
No, and here's why I think, and I'll keep it short, and then I'll give my 2 cents on Gino. I think the portal has a lot to do with it only because when you're at the University of Alabama and you have the number 1 recruiting class, number 2 recruiting class, top 5 year after year after year, you got all your horses in the stable ready to go. Well, now the horses are jumping and they're going to another stable and they're starting somewhere else. I mean, that's it. You got to keep your players there. And if they're not going to get the opportunity to get their burn right now, they're gone. They're jumping ship. And now you got to start all over again. So it's not, you don't got the same squad to choose from or the same players that you thought you were going to have because now they're gone. I mean, how many guys just left to go to Ohio State from Alabama?
But they left because Saban left. He has not had the impact for just for Alabama and Saban.
True. That's true.
He was losing a couple kids every year. He was not losing, like, he left and they lost a lot of guys. That's not happened with him. Matter of fact, he's gone and poached in the portal and taken, the corner for LSU that was highly recruited, flipped, went to Alabama. So I'm not saying it's not that, but I don't know that it's completely like as much of a factor as it is just him just being 70 years old.
Mhm.
My
So
opinion, you could be right.
talking about Ohio State real quick.
Okay.
I saw a cool thing, and I'm trying to find it right now, and I'm not going to find it. And you probably can help me. Maybe you guys can help me. Maybe not. And if you're in the chat, please help me out on this one, because I read it earlier and I thought it was like a magnificent thing to read, because I am not an Ohio State fan by any means necessary. But if you go back to all the rookie of the years in the NFL over the last like 8 years,
I saw this. Yeah.
6 of them are from the University of Ohio State. And obviously CJ Stroud is probably going to be the winner this year. You got CJ Stroud, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Chase Young. I mean,
before he hurt his knee. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty remarkable. And what Garrett Wilson, what a recruiting tool to use. So I just want to point that out real quick why we did, because I did see that. But anyway, Smitty, what do you got?
Can I say something?
What do you got, Smitty?
And I think Kev Mike hit the nail on the head when he said, I'm not a big college football fan, and I have my reasons why. I believe college football, it turned out to be a lot of business, as far as the committee, who's in the bowls, who's not, Florida State getting shunned this year. And I have my reasons why I don't follow college football.
Sure.
And Kev Mike said it best, you either follow it or you don't.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I choose not to follow it. The portal, the NIL. I mean, there's so many reasons why it's like, it's turned out to be just business. It used to be, the young talent, they'd come into the NFL and you knew exactly what to expect. But now there's so many politics and business behind it that I'm not into that no more as far as the NCAA is concerned, football. I still like March Madness and all that good stuff, even though my team sucks. But besides that, that's my take when it comes to college football.
Yeah, and I certainly understand. Listen, just because I love the sport and it doesn't mean I don't. It doesn't mean I like what's going on or what has. And like, and now you're seeing the NCAA crack down. They punished Florida State. They punished Florida with a slap on the wrist. Tennessee's in trouble. It'll be mark it down before you see Miami on the freaking ESPN ticker being in trouble, because they all tamper, because you have to tamper. How these kids that are at these schools, if you're going to, they send students that hit their Instagrams up and say, do you want to come to this school and this school? They all do it. So the NCAA is going to do something stupid. They're going to punish everybody for dumb stuff when they screwed it up to begin with, because they should have had a plan in place. But I get it, Smitty. Like we always knew that kids got paid and they got, envelopes of cash and cars and stuff. But now it's almost so, it was so much better when we knew what was going on, but we didn't know. And now it's just now this is like the minor leagues. And
kids used to leave the college to go to the pros to get paid, and now they're not going to the pros and staying in college because they can make more money. That's
a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah. So, well, we went sideways on that one. I like it. Good shit. Very good.
Ray, you had on the agenda your favorite Super Bowl memory. Did we cover that?
Yeah, we can wait for next week, though. I mean, we got the whole week to talk about the Super Bowl. So, that's another thing. I've got a few.
You want to give your input as far as Geno?
Yeah, you know what? The only thing with Geno is obviously, and it's the same thing with the guy from the Boston Celtics there. I just feel like you need more. I feel like his energy levels are low. Obviously had a health issue last year. The women on the bench that stepped in for him did an amazing job. And it might, you know what? His day is definitely coming sooner than later. Hate to say it, but you got to have the energy, man. If you're not bringing the energy, you're not going to get through to the kids. And Kim Mulkey, she's 61 years old. You watch that lady on the side of a basketball game, she loses her shit. And I'll tell you what, if I'm playing for that lady, I'm fighting, man. I'm going because the energy is there. And listen, that's what the kids they'll rise to that. I mean, not kids, but teenagers, young adults, they rise to that. So, you got a mirror, you know what I mean? Like if you're laid back, your team's laid back. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my thing. I feel like UConn needs some energy, and I don't think Gino has that right now. So
I like the way she dresses too.
Oh, she's a flash. She is
a
feisty
feisty broad.
Oh my. Imagine what she was like after a couple glasses of wine and like an 8-ball, Kev. Look at Smitty. Like, wow. What the hell?
Wow.
What the hell? Yo, we on the hook, yeah.
What's really going on? What's really going on?
Nah,
I can imagine.
I was just being funny.
That was great.
I don't know about
I was being
anyways.
funny. Come on, man. Hold on. I'll be right back. Come back all like.
It's okay. It's okay. We don't.
What are you guys looking forward to this weekend?
Yo, we don't judge nobody on the hooks, Smitty. You said that in the beginning of the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go.
Kev, I don't
Favorite
even know what is on this weekend.
This is really vodka. It's not even water. It's just straight vodka.
What am I looking for? Carolina Duke. I would have been looking forward to it more if we didn't fall victim to a stupid trap game. But anyway, favorite team that didn't win the national championship. Well, mine's going to be 2002 Miami, even though they got screwed by that pass interference call. But I just thought that team was so good and so electric. And the McGahee team, that was a really special team.
Oh, that was bad that year, huh?
That was a bad call in the end zone to the point that the confetti was on the ground and everybody was celebrating. That's how late that flag was. But it is what it is. I don't know. Can you guys think of any? I mean, that's mine, but that's my squad. Favorite team that didn't win a national championship? It's a great question.
Mine would have to be one of the older Penn State teams that freaking failed.
Makes sense.
What year did Nebraska get screwed? What
do you mean screwed?
Didn't they get screwed in the polls one year though? I feel like Florida State might ended up getting that.
Yeah, Florida State always gets. That's why, like,
the late 90s.
But that's why I don't feel bad for Florida State. Florida State in 2000, Miami should have played Oklahoma. They would have blew them out. That would have said a lot about Bob Stoops if he never won a championship. And Florida State's gotten in a couple times that I didn't think they deserved to get in. And this year I kind of thought they did, and they got screwed. It's going to be a 12-team playoff next year. Sometime in the future, though, like when we get into college, the Chip Kelly, how he explained how to fix college football and how it wouldn't have screwed basketball up. I'd love to go through that. It takes too much time now, but he had the right idea in terms of like making everybody independent, having a certain amount of conferences, leaving all the other sports alone, and kind of doing his. I thought that was really smart, but yeah, it's a good question over here, though. I got to think about that one.
Yep. Well, we got any more questions on the board, Smitty? It's been a night, man. It has been a night.
Randy, that was Randy. Hey, listen, I do have a question for you guys, though, and the audience, too. KC, Kansas City Chiefs, do we consider them a dynasty? And if so, what is your definition of a dynasty? Russ.
I don't know. I mean, I think you got to take the that what year this is. This will be their fourth Super Bowl.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 Super Bowl. I mean, you're kind of approaching dynasty. I think if you hold it for that 10-year window or whatever, and you're constantly there, you're kind of. But they lost one. They got to win one. I mean, I don't know if we'd call them a dynasty yet, but they're working on it.
That's a great
Kev, what do you
question.
got?
That's a great question about what a dynasty is. I think you definitely have to win more than one. I think you have to be in the mix multiple years. Like everybody says, like the Miami Hurricanes dynasty of the 80s. Well, that's because they won multiple championships. They were in multiple championships. They were always in the mix. I think in the NFL, I think you got to win more than one. And I think you got to be in the Super Bowl at least more than 2 times. And then that period can be viewed as a dynasty. But I don't have a straight answer. It's another good question.
And I think it's been pretty consistent that right now Kansas City is who you have to go through to get there.
Mm-hmm. This is a Kansas City dynasty, in my opinion.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, the way Kev broke it down, like going off of his
spiel,
comments, going off of what he said, then obviously it's a dynasty for Kansas City because they meet all the criteria. They got more than a Super Bowl. They've been in 4 of the last 5. I mean, they have 2 Super Bowls. They're in another one,
and you got to go through them to win it.
They're gonna have 3. They could have 3 in 4 years if they or 3 in 5 years, 2020, 2023, 2024. So, yeah, man, that's pretty good. Definitely a dynasty. That's why I'm rooting for the Niners.
And here's the other, and Ray, I know we didn't get into this, and we probably won't because it's late. But the one thing that's going to help this whole debate that's going to come up between Mahomes and Brady beat him twice.
True.
Beat him in the Super Bowl,
True.
and he beat him on the road in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And rarely do we have GOAT debates where guys have competed against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two really, and he's retired now. So those are going to be 2 things that people point to, and I think they're fair.
Yeah. But you know the messed up part about, I mean, people are trying to anoint Mahomes the GOAT after, winning his first Super Bowl. But I guess it's pretty fair to say that they weren't wrong because the guy's definitely he's on his way. All right. He's on the way. New York Giants Super Bowl 42. Oh man, look at you like sniping over there in the comment.
Listen, I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to interrupt you. You talking,
that's
man?
Fine. You go ahead, bro. It's all good. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. Shit.
Underrated teams.
I remember Tom Brady said, I think it was in the, I'm trying to think of what Super Bowl it was. I think it was the first Super Bowl when they said, we're not going to score 30 points. And then do you remember that conference?
No,
because
at
the end of the season, I mean, that's not, don't quote me on that, but that was like the vibe that he gave off. Like, they're not going to,
if it's coming from you, I'm quoting you.
It's not like, don't quote me on it though. I'm telling you now, that's not 100% spot on. That's not verbatim.
Oh, okay.
But that was the attitude. Like, yeah, okay. They just played the last game of the season, which was a phenomenal end of the season game. What was it, like 32 to 28?
It was a high scoring game. It was close.
Yeah, you figured, the Super Bowl will probably be the same, and then they put the 4 DNs on the defensive line, and after that, it was pretty much like, holy shit, looking like a deer in headlights running away from a.
That was Spags.
But I think that those Giant teams were, I think you could argue they overachieved. They stuck into the playoffs at 9, and they won 9 games. So absolutely. I don't know how. I honestly, and I know this is going to sound like a homer again because nobody ever talks about it because it's been so long. But the 91 Redskins were so.
Was that Doug Williams?
No, that was Mark Rippon. Were so dominant. They had 3 receivers that went over 1,000 yards. They had a running back in Biner that went over 1,000 yards. Their defense, who most people couldn't name 5 players on it, was unbelievably elite. they were so good. And in terms of like the best Super Bowl teams, they're never really on the list. And that team, that team, you talk about a loaded division at the time. I don't think the 91 team gets as much love. I'm sure there's other examples, but I've always wondered that. I mean, they led the league in scoring. They gave up a total of 8 sacks all year, and they played Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor.
Who they play in the Super Bowl?
The Bills. And that was a great Buffalo team. Jim Kelly and Andre Reed and Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett. Yeah. Those guys were That's probably the one team that like that group that went to 4 Super Bowls and lost. They just ran into machines when you look at who they ran into. I mean, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Redskins then, they just ran into the worst possible. You talk about a team that was hoping for an upset. But, yeah, that's what I got.
4 years of the Detroit Lions in the last second half, huh?
Crazy.
Yep. Nuts. Whew.
So, listen, Atlanta, Carolina, Chargers, they all have new coaches. Where do we see Atlanta in that division? Do we see them being successful with Raheem Morris in that division? Carolina, LA Chargers, same question. In Carolina, we have Dave Canales, and LA Chargers, Harbaugh.
I think the Chargers will be good. I think we have to see who's going to be the quarterback in Atlanta. I think Carolina's kind of in a really tough spot, and they could be rebuilding for a period of time. And really, the trade to get Bryce Young, I mean, I know hindsight's 2020. We're all Monday morning quarterbacks, but I mean, they could have the first pick of the draft. They could have had Caleb Williams, and everything could have changed for the franchise. So, yeah, that's a tough one. I think Harbaugh is going to do a good job.
I think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs. Chargers are in the playoffs next year. Write it down.
So do we all agree that Kansas City will be there in that division? I'm going to stay focused on that division. Kansas City will be there. The Raiders will be there. And we don't know about Denver. No love for the Raiders?
I listen, I'll always show love for the Raiders. I do. I have a place in my heart for the Raiders, but I do think that Harbaugh coming into that division is a problem for the Raiders, and they're going to be the team that's going to fall off from it, honestly. You're still going to have to worry about the Ravens and the Browns, quarterback situation to be decided, but it's still a good Cleveland defense. And you got Buffalo, and what's going to happen to Miami next year? Because Miami's pretty good. So, only a few wild cards are going to get in. I think the Raiders are going to be like right on they could be right there on the outside looking in, man, honestly.
Yeah, like Kev said with his Super Bowl prediction, as far as Kansas City goes, I mean, they're it until you beat them. Like somebody's got to, something tragic's got to happen, or you got to beat them. So you're kind of coming down to limited spots to get in, and a lot of the AFC East again next year. Rodgers plays, the Jets could be freaking tough.
They already got the defense to get them there.
Say that one more time, Russ. Say that one more time.
Rodgers plays next year, the Jets could be tough.
If you said if Rodgers plays,
yep, yeah, if Rodgers plays. But the Bills are going to be tough. Miami could still be tough. The Patriots, I think they're moving away from Mac Jones. But if they get a quarterback from somewhere, how far are they really off from being a thorn in somebody's side?
Mm-hmm. Bring that energy.
And we don't know if Andy Reid's going to retire. That throws a big wrench in a lot of this. And we don't. If they win the Super Bowl and Andy Reid retires and Travis Kelce retires, then it opens things up. And there's too many things that we don't know. We don't know free agency, the draft. We just don't know who's going to add what. And it's very difficult to kind of, besides the fact, it's just tough.
Does Andy Reid have any disciples to take over after him?
I don't know of Bieniemy maybe just because he knows what they do. It's a good question. I don't know. But again, that matters. That matters. The coach does matter. It does.
Yeah.
Agreed. Listen, boys.
All right, boys.
This was a hell of a show.
Could've been just two different shows.
Hour and 55 minutes. I mean, yeah, unbelievable.
record.
Great job. I had a blast tonight. I don't know about you guys. Smitty, you got something you want to?
Yeah, did we cover the NBA? I know we covered the Knicks.
We covered enough. We covered a lot. Yeah,
one last question.
To be continued.
One last question. One last question for you guys. What is your guys' take on the lack of defense in the NBA? I know that sells entertainment. What's your take on it?
Get off.
The NBA sucks. It's a trash. It's just a trash entertainment. You want to watch real basketball, you watch college basketball because they play defense. They try hard because they want to make it to the league. But the NBA is just not. They're traveling and they're doing everything you teach kids not to do. If you want to teach your kid how to play basketball, don't let them watch the NBA. Have them watch a college basketball game. Better yet, have them watch a college women's basketball game because it's the most fundamental, best game you can probably watch. Although the men is a lot of fun to watch too. Yeah. But, you're trying to teach kids. I mean, at least I am. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. NBA is just nah.
My take
Russ,
is,
what's your take on it?
But I watch it.
I hate it.
Go ahead, Russ.
Hate it. Yeah, I hate it.
Kev?
Mine's very simple. Effort. Defense is effort. They don't care. That's what the problem is. It's not that they can't, it's that they don't.
And then one last thing, Ray. Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
Stud.
We all know that he was snubbed for making the All-Star team as a starter.
He's an all-star.
We know that popularity wins when it comes to that vote as far as the All-Star. Where do you guys see Jalen Brunson coming up as a Knick?
I see him as an all-star, and I see him not as a starter. It's just the way it is. There's 5 other players more popular.
But coming up as a Knick, as in far as leveling him, putting him on a level with the rest of the Knicks that couldn't get it done. Okay.
You got it.
You know what? Obviously, I think the greatest, because we're talking point guards here, right? He's the point guard.
Yes, sir.
I think the greatest point guard to probably wear a uniform for the Knicks has to be Mark Jackson. So Walt Frazier. Okay. I didn't watch Walt Frazier play. So as far as me going back,
I don't think any of us did, right?
No, I get
we
it.
watch highlights, but I didn't even watch Walt Frazier.
What are they, in black and white? If it's in black and white, I don't watch it.
I just thought you were talking about the best point guard in Knicks history. My bad.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Right. No, but for me, right, because Mark Jackson's one of the best point guards in the history of the NBA. The guy dished the rock better than 95, 98% of, maybe 100% of any point guard ever played the game. The dude's assist numbers are insane. So I guess, he's got a long way to go. I'll put it that way. Who's that other kid? What was that other guy's name there? I can't think of his name right now. But he was
Melo, Marbury.
No. John Starks. Was John Starks point guard? John Starks, he was fun to watch, man. He was a good player. Obviously, being the Bulls fan that I am, he was one of those dudes that
he could bounce.
He balled. Oh, dude, he could. He had bunnies. Yeah, he had bunnies. He was fun to watch. He was exciting. He was
a shooting guard.
Yep. He's shooting guard. Who was the point guard on that team? God, I can't remember. It's been so long. That Knicks team with John Starks. I thought Allen Houston.
Chris Childs.
Nah, was it? Nah, I didn't remember
Chris Childs.
No, was it? I thought John Starks was the point guard. I thought Allen Houston was the shooting guard. Maybe Allen Houston was a small forward. Did they play on the same team, or am I mixing them all together?
No, you got it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Brunson's definitely going to be he could be one of the greatest Knicks, though. Definitely.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. He's fun. He's the Energizer Bunny on the floor for the Knicks.
Injuries. Hopefully stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But
all right, fellas, go ahead, Ray. Do your thing, man.
Big weekend coming up. I'd like to add last week that Novak did not win the Australian Open. 22-year-old Yannick Sinner from Italy won the Aussie Open. Pretty cool considering it's not very often. He beat Medvedev after being down 2-0. Won the last 3 sets. Tennis, man, 22-year-old kid. Maybe we'll see a little shift in the power on the courts. Obviously, they all play different on different surfaces. But this week, what are you guys looking forward to? Russ, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna have to jump on. I don't really know what's on, so I'm gonna have to follow that UNC Duke game for sure.
Okay. Kev,
You already know.
all right.
Duke, Carolina.
Smitty.
I don't know. I really don't have anything looking forward to as far as sports is concerned. I do know that for those of you gamers out there, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the show 24, he's on the front cover. I don't know how many of you agree with that, but that's just the way it goes for the gamers. Baseball's coming up. I'm getting ready for that. I'm psyched for that, for pitchers and catchers, and then spring training. I'm psyched for that. So, and I wish I was psyched for the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game, but I'm really not. So that's that. What do you got, Ray?
I'm going to lean towards the golf course this weekend. We got the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It's always fun to just see Pebble Beach on TV. Definitely a course that I'd like to go check it out. Definitely a bucket list. Notable people in the field. We're going to see Rory out there, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Xander, Jordan, Max Homa, Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas. So we got some big names playing, and I love my golf. So that's that's something different. Last week it was tennis. This week it's golf. Next week it'll be pickleball. Oh wait, next week's the Super Bowl.
What about soccer?
What's that?
Russ, what's that soccer league up in Worcester?
Oh, shut up.
The Red Sox, the Boston.
Go ahead, Russ.
The Boston Liverpool Sox there or whatever.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Them guys. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to call you guys assholes because I like you.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
Smitty,
That's a compliment.
Hey, the Fenway Sports Group puts a lot of money into them. NASCAR. Actually, Ray, when you're watching the PGA, you're kind of watching the Red Sox too. Like they're buying in.
That's more enjoyable to watch than the Red Sox right now.
You
Russ.
did, Scotzo was, talking about all the decals that you'd need on your NASCAR. That's a little NASCAR going on too. I recommended you put all your logos on your jumpsuit like the NASCAR guys do.
Got some logos coming. We'll wait. We'll hold off on that.
All right. And Kev's gonna have to get him in tattoos because he's going shirtless. So he.
The first tattoo I get, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna bring my laptop and we'll do a live stream.
I love this. I love it. Yeah.
Oh boy, your first tattoo?
My first.
Oh man, I hope you're not like our boy Matty because you'll be sweating and turning freaking green.
I won't be.
I think he's gonna get Redskins.
No.
Super Bowl champs.
I'm gonna
2025.
get something. I'm gonna get something for my kids. I won't.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. He's gonna get a big U on his chest.
Right here.
The U. Oh man.
Boys.
Guys, great show. A lot of fun, a lot of energy. We're going to bring it back next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. And if you haven't hit the like or the subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, have a great week. We'll see you next week.